आणि 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 ती आशिल्ले फुकट ते वाचूनच ना स्विमींग पूल आमी दिवपाक सोदता वॉटर बॉडी म्हणटा ते वॉटर बॉडी वॉटर बॉडी रिसायकलिंग somebody goes and tiles it, okay, like a pool, then it becomes a headache. There should be total clarity,
But the swimming pool may be permitted by Indian already
not to whistle. उद्या आयज आमी आमचे श्री राजेश फळदेसाय नवे आमचे इलेक्टेड मेंबर टू द टाउन प्लॅनिंग बोर्ड ते आयज पयले मिटिंगेक आयज आयिल्ले आसा आनी त्याच बरोबर आमचे सगळे मेंबर्स आमचो CTP आनी सगळे आमचे मेंबर्स major decisions today which I think people were wanting to know what is the thought process of the government. First decision what we have taken is dismantling of Greater Panjim PDA, and what we have done is that we have taken out Kadamba Plateau. There I will explain to you how it will proceed, and we have taken out, once this 60-day period is over, where people will bring their objections, objection कितें आसल्यार जर कितें खंय चुकला in the process of the whole exercise that was conducted by our whole team and headed by the CTP, that 60 days period we are going to board is going to be monitoring that, and after the 60 day period from the proclamation once the proclamation is signed, those areas will then we will notify it and close that old ODP which is there. But also I want to make a mention that once that exercise is completed, the new NGPDA will look like this. It will have Kalangut, Kandulim, it will have Mapsa, it will have Panjim, Taligaon and Bambolim. Arpora, Nagoa, Parra are the three villages which are going to be removed after that period from the PD. Once the process is completed, it will be out from the PD areas. People of Goa don't want multiple PDAs. And as a result of which, I think NGPDA, we are taking Madam Jennifer Monserrat fully on board. This exercise also what we are doing, we are taking her on board to be involved to see that whatever needs to be done. And apart from that, this new area, and we have taken all the stakeholders, ज्यांच्याकडे discuss करूंक जाय ते discuss करून, आणि आमचे overall overall our leadership onwards to everyone, thought process was that we must do this exercise. So we are doing this. In addition, we have taken several areas and we have got some excellent suggestions from the members of the board, and we have taken up today to come and modify the farmhouse policy. Je पहिली आशिल्ली farmhouse policy was earlier introduced when my father was the chief minister many years back. The town planning department was headed by him. त्यांना जी पॉलिसी असली त्याच पॉलिसीक आमी रिवर्ट केल्ले आसा. 4,000 प्लॉटान आमी सबडिवायड करपाक तांकां दिता टू बिल्ड फार्म हाऊसेस. कवरेज जी पयली 5% आशिल्ली that we are increasing it to 15%. But again we are going to engage an agency like IGBC for their certification. They are already working with CII. आणि कितें ह्या तरेचे एजन्सीक इनकॉर्पोरेट आमी केल्यार Indian Green Building Council त्यांच्या इन्वॉल्व केल्यार we will get strict certification for all these projects before they are passed, and the board will get a presentation of these projects. ह्यो सगळ्या गोष्टी पहिले आमी वॉटर बॉडी म्हणटाले आनी आमी म्हणटाले ते आनी लोक ताका स्विमींग पूल बी वापरताले. पण कित्याक आयज ह्या सगळ्या गोष्टीक क्लॅरिटी जाय. So we have given clarity through the board that you can call it a water body or it can be called a swimming pool also. That is not we are not this thing going to object to that particular thing. In addition, what we have decided is we need to come out with certain various type of modern thought process. गोंयान आमी पळयल्यार आमी जायते उलयता टाउन प्लॅनिंग डिपार्टमेंटाचे जायत्यो गोष्टी आशिल्ल्यो. TDR पॉलिसीचे आमी ऑलरेडी अलॉंग द हायवे आमी पास केल्ले आसा. आय थिंक TDR पॉलिसी हायवेचे मातसो आमचो राजेश नायकान मातसो एक्सप्लेन करूंक जाय. मातसो एक्सप्लेन कर. एक्सप्लेन वेरी
TDR
along the highway.
TDR, I mean, there's a concept called transit-oriented development. Along the transport corridors, we have to give higher FAR along the transport corridors and work-home relationship, and for people who don't have to travel long distance. So give higher FAR along the transport corridors, maybe along the highway, now tentatively. The board has decided to engage consultants and take their suggestions and come out with a clear TDR policy and also transit-oriented development policy.
This policy will be applicable to the policy we are taking a consultant on board, and then the board will decide after they make a presentation which will be the receiving areas. Simply arbitrarily we cannot do. There has to be a planning process, there has to be a consultant on board. Whenever all these ODPs and all are being made and board is involved, we need to see that we have these consultants on board. Just now I was just talking to our Mr. Ralph, Chamber President, Goa Chamber President, that even the farmhouses has to have this IGBC certification. Only then we will be, then they will have a total presentation. आमी कितें थरयल्लां बी local material and हे सगळे promote करपाक आमी तांकां हे सगळे benefit दिवपाक तयार आहा, पण local जे कितें benefit, local whatever material is, they should actually buy this local material, and also we must ensure that whatever is available here they are able to utilize. In addition, we have gone ahead and said that when we talk about green Goa and we are talking about protection of environment, people of Goa are very sensitive towards the environment. As a result of which we took a decision to take out all those areas like Arpora, Nagawa and Para and all these areas from the PDA. Today, from today onwards, from the date of notification, the Greater Panjim PDA does not exist. In addition, we are also coming up, we have said for golf course, if anybody wants to put up on orchard land, reducing the dependence on settlement and conversion, and convert केल्ले जमीन काय settlement असलेली जमीन, आम्ही आमची greenery आम्ही कशी सांभाळू शकता, and how to protect this green environment and green Goa. It is not only through just by a slogan, but it has to be through action. If a person wants to put up a golf course, we have decided that it should be all catchment areas, water, it is to be an organically certified project. Only it has to be with no chemicals, no nothing can be utilized. So as a result of which, all board members were very clear, and even the chamber president, Mr. Ralph, was very clear that it should be certified, they should be dependent if such projects are coming on their own water source, and also recycling of water, all those things that are mandatory for green certification. Those green certification, that external agency will present this case to us, to the board, and only then such cases will be taken up. We will be giving about 30% FSI to such projects if they fulfill the criteria of ensuring that they fit into the regulations. I have also requested Mr. Ralph Souza to be an active participant in this, and also them to give in return suggestions what they feel is there, so as to see that such projects that come in. Now, as per we are only talking that we are getting X project, Y project, but these projects don't just come in. But as a result, town planning department had to bring in certain clarity, and we are going to tie up with IGBC so that we have got a certified top body that is there to see that we are able to certify and we give green certification for these projects. In addition, if anybody wants to put up a film studio, then it has to be minimum 25 acres. Again, all these, like, right from waste treatment to everything. There also we are giving them FSI, but same thing is that the green and this environment aspect has to be taken care of in a very particular manner, stringent manner. It has to come with certification from this particular organization, and if it doesn't come with a certification from the particular organization, first of all, we will not take it up in the board. Second, before giving completion, it has to again come and that agency has to certify that they have complied to all the green norms. Again, there we are going to be, we want green projects in the state of Goa. We don't want anything which is there. So as a result, wherever this orchard and other things are maintained, those areas, even if we give them 30% FSI, you must remember, a film studio and film city is different. You can have production school for film production and other things within the film studio. You can create indirect and direct employment. But same time, from the policy point of view, you don't need to buy. A project becomes unviable when a person has to buy only settlement land. So as a result, he can even buy orchard land, but he has to fit into this criteria and these rules, regulations. We will make a team, and this team, and Mr. Rajesh Valdesai also will be a member of most of these committees, and also the chamber and also CII, Mr. Nilesh Amulkar and Aves and CTP will monitor, and also Mr. James Matthew will look at some aspects of the part aspects of these committees, because if they can divide it. But same time, what we want to do is, I was requesting Mr. Suktan and Paresh Kaitandi also to give certain specific inputs, So basically film studio has to be minimum 25 acres. All these green norms have to be followed. Only then they will be eligible for that FSI. Otherwise we will not consider this project. Film city can be between 100 acres and 200 acres. Golf course we have said that we want, but with its own catchment area. Other thing, it has to be again between 100 acres to 200 acres, not less than that. So all these criteria are going to we have cleared in today's meeting, and also this TDR policy for oriented corridors along the national highway, which will come only after the consultant is appointed. We'll have a team. They will evaluate it. They'll check along this highway, that is National Highway 66 and National Highway 4, what is the areas and what is the areas which can be receiving areas. Only those areas will be considered. We will ensure that the stakeholders are taken into confidence and not do. But from policy perspective, it is important for us to give that type of a boost as far as when we talk about investor confidence and investor in the state of Goa. If we do not do all this, then we will not, from the town planning and planning point of view, not be able to open up the area. And also the most important thing is that we need to take everybody on board and to take it forward. I think these are many of these things, and also most important what we have taken today is that the ODPs of the respective ODPs that were taken by the board will be handed over back to the, as far as your Madgaon, Mapsa, Madgaon, Ponda, and will be returned back to the respective authorities. And we are discussing with Madam Jennifer Monserrat also regarding her ODPs, and then we will take her into confidence on all aspects, and where she will be able to play a very proactive role in seeing that these things are finalized. And in addition, what we have said is that the directions are being issued also by us to the directions that we had already discussed with him, that directions to be issued when making of ODPs, that you cannot consider in the ODPs of taking non-development slopes or low-lying areas or NDZ. And most important is that medical institutions are खातीर आम्ही extra FSI दिवपाचे ठरयल्ले आसा, and these medical institutions should be for hospitals and other such medical institutions where they have about 200 bedded hospitals. So we are saying, because being health minister, I thought that this is important. If somebody wants to come, we talk about medical tourism, but medical tourism will not come. People also have to have a provision to go vertical also, and not only buy a large amount of land in order to access FSI. So basically, these are the couple of things that we have taken in today's meeting. And most important is in the 16B, where there is a tremendous amount of ambiguity in that. It's sub judice, so I can't say much. But I can only say that out of the 6,000 and odd cases which are there are 1,222 cases which are provisionally approved. Those only will remain because the matter is sub judice. But the other 5,000 and odd cases will be discarded. They will not be considered by the board at all. So they will be thrown out, and they people based on the court decision. And since the matter is sub judice, then at a later stage we can decide what to do. There are 1,222 cases which have got provisional approval, and 253 cases, I think, which have got final approval, but is not notified. So basically we have to wait for the court judgment, we have to wait for the judiciary to take a call on this particular issue. We are trying to put forth our point of view. But as far as the zoning plans for the state are concerned, which was passed in the assembly, we will take all the stakeholders and we will open up certain areas once we can extend to the bill, and subsequently we will move forward as far as the development process is concerned. So this is all for today. I think this is pretty, we have brought a lot of clarity in the planning process and what needs to be done, and also maintain the greenery, and also reduce the pressure on the settlement and all this demand for settlement properties and other things, as a result of which we have to see how we can move forward and taking all the stakeholders on board. And I think that it's a good decision that we are taking. IGBC also, there was a suggestion also that in case somebody wants to come out with a green project, or somebody wants to give X percentage achieves his thing of making his project green, also whether some additional benefit could be given, that also we have said to put it, and we are considering that. In addition, आज आम्ही पळयता की पार्किंग आनी ह्यो सगळ्यो गोष्टी त्रास जाता सगळे कडेन. आम्ही ठरयल्लें आसा की हायट रिलॅक्सेशन दिवपाक, आनी त्याच बरोबर डबल तांकां स्टील पार्किंग, आनी ह्यो सगळ्यो गोष्टी हॅव बीन टेकन इन टू कन्सिडरेशन टुडे इन टुडेज मीटिंग. सो दीज आर द मेजर थिंग्स दॅट वी हॅव टेकन इन टू कन्सिडरेशन. जालें. आम्ही काय सांगितलं, आम्हाला ग्रीन प्रोजेक्ट्स पाहिजे. ते आता 100 एकरावर म्हटलं तर फिल्म सिटी आम्ही देऊ शकतो परमिशन. त्याला आम्ही नाही नाही, आमच्याकडे काय आलं नाही, ते बोर्ड ठरवतील. आणि त्याचबरोबर IG आम्ही ते बॉडी जी घेतलेली आहे फॉर सर्टिफिकेशन, फॉर ग्रीन सर्टिफिकेशन, आम्ही काय म्हणतो, प्रोजेक्ट आलं तर बरं आहे, पण इट हॅज टू बी अ टोटली 100% ग्रीन प्रोजेक्ट. ते जरा त्यांना कॉस्ट वाढलं तरी बी चालेल, पण काय क्लॅरिटी पाहिजे होती लॉमध्ये, डिपार्टमेंटमध्ये क्लॅरिटी, तुम्ही कसले प्रोजेक्ट क्लिअर करू शकता, काय करू शकता, हे सगळ्या गोष्टी योग्य तऱ्हेने आम्ही पुढे न्यायचा आमचा प्रयत्न असणार. हे क्लॅरिटी जर आली कायद्यामध्ये, मग लोक पुढे येतात. क्लॅरिटी नसली तर आम्ही काय करू शकतो, करू शकत नाही. मग ना ना, आम्ही ऑलरेडी ठरयला, हांव आयज उलयतालो आमचे सगळे स्टेक होल्डरां कडेन, प्लस आमी थरयल्लें की कदंबा प्लॅटो डिलिंग केला. आतां ऑलरेडी सांगलेलें आसा तुमकां, इन डिटेल हांवें सांगलां, एक्सप्लेन केला की बाबा कितें कितें ग्रेटर पेंडिमाचो काय अर्थ उरना. नॉर्थ गोवा प्लॅनिंग ऑथॉरिटी, मॅडम जेनिफर मोन्सेरात थंय चेअरमन आसा, तिजे अंडर कलंगूट, कांदोलीम, म्हापसा, पेंजीम, तालिगांव, बांबोलीम ही सगळ्या एरिया येतली. पूर्णपणे इंडिपेंडन्स आमी तिका दितले. तिका जाय तशी ती आपल्या आमचे सगळे स्टेक होल्डरांक घेवन ती फुडें व्हरपाचो तिचो प्रयत्न आसतलो. पूण त्याच बरोबर कदंबा प्लॅटो जो आहा ताका आमी सॅटेलायट टावनशीप म्हणून आमी डेव्हलप करतले. ते फुडाऱ्याक पयले आमचे सगळे रूल्स रेग्युलेशन फ्रेम जाल्या उपरांत, आनी मुख्य म्हणजे कितें आहा की आमकां हे सगळे गोष्टी आमी ते पार्रा आनी कितें ते पार्रा नागांव ते जाय त्यो कोर्ट केसीस आहा, हे जे 60 दिसाचो पिरियड जो कंप्लीट जाल्या उपरांत आमी ती एरिया आमी वी आर रिमुवींग इट आउट ऑफ द NGPDA. जे कोणा कडेन उलोवंक जाय तेंचे कडेन हांवें ऑलरेडी काल आनी आयज सकाळी बी उलयल्लें आसा, आनी आमची सगळ्यांची सहमती जावन आमी हे निर्णय घेतलेले आसा. म्हणजे इवन तुमकां जर दिसता की कोणाक कॉन्फिडन्सान घेवन तशें काय तुमच्या मनान घेवं नाका. कोणा प्रत्येक स्टेक होल्डर, आमचे पेंजीमचे MLA आहा श्री बाबूश मोन्सेरात आहा, आमचे आनी खंय लिडर आहा, तेंचे कडेन चर्चा करून आमी ह्यो सगळ्यो गोश्टी आमी मार्गार आमी लावपाचें ठरयल्लें आसा.
सर, कॉन्ट्रोवर्शियल CB सोल्स आसा तेजेर कितें अपडेट आहा?
ना, कांयच ना. बेश्टे कोणी कॉन्ट्रोवर्शियल सांगता आनी कोण कोर्टान गेलो म्हणून म्हाका ते कॉन्ट्रोवर्शियल लागना. आमचे डिपार्टमेंट हे सगळे पळयतले योग्य तरेन, आनी कितें आहा ते मागीर हांव तुमकां ब्रीफ करूं शकता. बेश्टे कोणाच्या फाटल्यान लागलो म्हणून तशें जायना. ते सगळे योग्य तरेन डिपार्टमेंट पळोवंक जाय आनी पळयतले डिपार्टमेंट इज प्रिटी कॉम्पिटंट एंड प्रोफेशनल टू डील विथ सच सिच्युएशन एंड वील टेक केअर ऑफ इट. बेश्टे वी शूड नॉट पूट some accusation on somebody just because you want to put, but my only submission is that department is competent of taking a thing. Any the person in concern is my leader also, and more importantly that a very responsible person, and so as a result let it be responsibly dealt with.